I'm Karen Josey. I'm the Director of Simulation for Banner Health. Banner Health is over 7 states, has facilities and small access hospitals, and we have 3 simulation centers. 2 are in Arizona, 1 is in Colorado. So we have 3 simulation centers at Banner Health. The first one was Good Sam. We call that the SIMET Center, Simulation and Education Training Center, and that one is in a facility that has a residency program, so we have medical physicians that are there, and it's why it was started. We have a Da Vinci curriculum, we have a surgical residency curriculum for simulation. The biggest users of all of our centers are nurses, however, and we also have MESA Simulation Center, and that one totally takes care of the RN new hire. All of the new nurses that are hired into Banner come through this center in the Arizona region. In Colorado, they do a little bit of everything. They deal with the residency program that is at NCMC, and then they travel a lot to all the other states, and there's 7 states total that Banner Health has facilities in, and they deliver simulation education to all of those critical access facilities. So the SIMET Center at Good Sam opened in 2006, towards the end of it. And I was the training center coordinator, so we had our ACLS and BLS classes there. So I was actually an extra simulation specialist because they only had 1, and I loved it. So when the opportunity came up, I became the senior manager there. And then from there, I became the director of simulation for Banner Health. I am a very hands-on learner. I have to do it to learn it. So that is why I love simulation. I actually still do instruct. I just went to the Western region recently and was part of the sim team. I wasn't the director. I helped run the mannequins. I helped develop curriculum for physicians, nurses, different disciplines, depending on what they need. We're not the content experts, but we're certainly the simulation experts, and we help those different disciplines put their content into simulation. If you're new, really you want to take it slow. You'll get there. And actually someone just came up and talked about that after the conference and wanted to do it all at the same time. And he was on the right track. You just start with one thing, whatever that might be. We were fortunate, or I was fortunate, because I already knew how I was an ACLS instructor, and that did incorporate simulation. Probably the biggest thing is building curriculum. You got to get your subject matter experts there to help you do that. And always remember, you're the simulation expert. On my first day of the job, someone called me and said, "Oh, I heard you were the simulation expert." I go, "Oh, yeah, I am." But you really almost are, because you do know more than other people about simulation, and then you can help them put their content into simulation. If you don't measure it, you don't do it. So we do have to prove what we do. So we measure learner outcomes. What we hope to get to is patient outcomes. That's what everybody hopes to get to. But before you can do that, you have to first measure the learner outcomes. Well, we're very fortunate at Banner Health that we have senior management involvement. We actually have a simulation advisory committee, and we report to them what we do. We ask them what they need done, and it's from risk, all those different departments at corporate. They actually help drive us and support us. Because of that, we ask them what they need, and then we can deliver that for them. That makes it 100% easier in really getting what you need and what you believe in. I think Banner Health is known. Carol's done presentations, Dr. Smith. They're the two that started simulation at Banner Health. They've talked internationally and have networked. We're ACS accredited, American College of Surgeons accredited. So that has helped us. So our name is out there. The Simulation Center at Mesa is very innovative in that the learners have 4 to 6 hours of pretty much taking care of patients, giving meds, doing all those things that you would normally do in a real environment. We have an ICU, an ED, and there's nothing else out there like that. So it's not just, coming in and performing a skill, it's actually putting it all together. It's very immersive, and it helps them work out their kinks and what do they need. And we develop a very specific learning plan for them when they actually go to the facility. The scenario this morning was based on a real event from one of the senior managers. She was an ED nurse, and she actually had this patient. So she tweaked it a little bit. We wanted something interesting to capture everybody's attention, and the actor, he's not actually an actor, he's an expert in ACLS and helped build this in situ team throughout the system, as well as the electronic tool that we use. So he certainly made it fun for us. And the codes, the training centers are under simulation throughout Banner Health. And the code component of it is something we work very hard on. So it's near and dear to our heart, obviously. That's how we spent all this time on building this. It was like 1.5 years in building this in situ mock code team, the standardized toolkit for everyone to use, as well as this electronic form. The patient went into cardiac arrest, and we immediately called a code like you normally would. And then all the players are actually very important. It's American Heart Guidelines are what we're using. And all the players responded appropriately in that there was a leader. There was someone that ran the med cart, someone that did airway, 2 people actually that do airway, someone that does compressions. Even the chaos that usually occurs in a code is kind of naturally there in trying to save someone's life. We deliberately didn't want to do it correctly because we wanted to show how in the electronic form that you can capture those errors and that in debriefing you can speak to them. So people don't know always that they're doing something wrong, and in that debriefing process that comes out. And then you go back and you practice it again till you get it right. There isn't opportunity to practice codes that often. They're low frequency events, so simulation is a perfect venue in order to do that. It's my first son, and I just love the energy here and the willingness of everybody to learn and the questions they asked, and just it's fun.